When you upgrade to a new computer, you have a little problem. Electronics are not your garden variety garbage.
Basically, I put in the basement or I give it away, or I don't like to throw things away.
I find one of my friends or someone who wants to use it or who needs it.
But when companies upgrade, they can create a real mess. That's something that upsets their customers, stockholders, and hurts their public image.
There are several investor groups that ask big companies all the time about their social responsibility programs.
Michelle Blasick is AT&T's Director for Environmental Management Compliance. She and others say businesses today want manufacturers to take back old equipment and
also to try to move towards design for disassembly, design for reuse, design for upgradability.
whether it's companies or individuals, we all have our computers, cell phones, and other gadgets. But they all impact the environment throughout their entire life cycle. They use a lot of resources to manufacture, contain significant amounts of toxic and environmentally sensitive materials, use electricity inefficiently, have a relatively short usable lifespan, and are inefficiently recovered and recycled. Ericsson Telephone's Stephen Rogers echoed what many are saying. Nations with rapidly growing economies will greatly increase worldwide consumption.
We have these emerging markets like China and India. They're all buying cell phones. So the volumes are huge.
And we all want the newest, latest thing.
The life cycle of these cell phones, how many years is it? 2 years? 3 years?
The European Union was the first to mandate electronic recycling by requiring that sellers of electronics take back products they sell.
We close the life cycle loop totally by offering to take this back, take back end-of-life equipment. So we take responsibility from cradle to grave.
The U.S. has no similar federal law, but some local governments do charge recycling fees that fund recycling programs. Others ban throwing away electronic waste. Still, most old computers end up in landfills or being disassembled in third world nations. This is an e-waste facility in China. That's dangerous because computers have toxic materials like lead, mercury, and selenium, and of course, personal material such as financial information, emails, and photos. So if we need all these gadgets, what are we to do? Standards once forced a cleanup of auto emissions, and this has led some to argue federal standards for environmentally smarter computers could help. But in a global economy, whose standards apply?
The whole problem is that it's hypocritical for developed countries to try to tell anybody else what to do.
In the U.S., the Zero Waste Alliance, the EPA, and the IEEE brought together consumer, government, and industry experts to help develop a voluntary set of standards for environmentally friendly electronics that could serve as a worldwide model. Dell Corporation was among the first.
When this came along and we knew there was a need from our customers, from the purchasers, to how do we specify better, greener computers and monitors, Dell jumped on that wagon. It's a good thing for the customer. It's a good thing for us.
The standard was announced as IEEE Standard 1680, the Electronic Product Environmental Assessment Tool, or EPEAT.
EPEAT is a great new tool that's going to allow people to be able to purchase greener computers and know that when they're evaluating claims about whether a computer is greener, that those claims are legitimate.
The standards judge not just recycling, but how a piece of equipment impacts the environment over its entire life cycle.
We developed a range of approaches to make sure that an electronic product is appropriately assessed in terms of its environmental performance, ranging all the way from health and safety issues, recycling capabilities, energy consumption, and all the aspects associated with electronic products and how it affects the environment.
While EPEAT is an IEEE standard, it will be up to another group, the Green Electronics Council, to oversee it. The Council's Jeff Omelchuk explains how it will work.
In the EPEAT system, a manufacturer first signs an agreement with the Green Electronics Council that commits them to be accurate in their product declarations.
Electronics that meet the Green standard are listed online, and the Green Electronics Council will follow up by verifying the manufacturer's claims.
GEC operates a product verification system, And so all products that are on the registry are subject to verification, and we're actively working with the manufacturers to get them to prove that the products meet the attributes that they've declared that they have.
ePeat's online presence will make it international in scope. Right now, the ePeat standard applies only to computers, but everyone hopes that it can be expanded to include servers, printers, copiers, personal digital assistants, and of course, cell phones.